All right, on the Charles for one final race today in the women's bean pot. This is the Varsity Fours. Radcliffe's had a very good day today, winning in first, second, and third varsity. Won the last three races. Boston College won the fourth varsity race at the very beginning of the day, and we'll round things out again with the Varsity Four. All five schools competing, and running you through the rosters, starting with Radcliffe. Varsity 4 is coxswained by freshman Anna J. Singh, sophomore Haley Novus seats in seat 4, freshman Sophia Young in seat 3, sophomore Hannah Osborne in seat 2, and senior Corinne Bazzini is in the bow seat number 1. For Boston College, their Varsity 4 boat is coxswained by Amanda Baki, a sophomore. Sophomore Caitlin McDonald is the stroke, freshman Paige Vignon, freshman Jamie Bangy, and freshman Olivia Rogas round out the 4 rowers for Boston College. For Boston University, they are coxswained by sophomore Jessica Grossman. In seat 4, the stroke is freshman Claire Murphy. Seat 3, senior Dominique Baker. Freshman Noelle Perry in seat 2. And the bow is sophomore Megan St. Martin. For Northeastern, defending CAA champs, their Varsity 4 coxswained by a freshman, Rosa Procchiano. In seat number 4, Elvira Stridesberg. Seat number 3, senior Victoria Babchuk. Freshman Adrian Oriolis is in seat 2, and the bow is junior Rachel Rosenthal. Rounding things out with MIT for head coach Holly Metcalf. And away we go in our final race of the day. Varsity 4s. Radcliffe sitting in that second from the bottom of your picture. You have Northeastern at the bottom of your picture. On the other side of Radcliffe, it's Boston College, then BU, and then MIT at the very top of your picture. Been profiling Radcliffe seniors all day. One senior on this Varsity 4 boat, Corinne Bazzini from Lafayette, California. Did not see action last year. 2 years ago, she was in the third varsity boat. She is a psychology major from the Kirkland House, one of a couple of seniors from the Kirkland House for Radcliffe. Radcliffe off to a great start early. They've already put about a full boat's length ahead of Boston College. The lead on Northeastern as well, the defending CAA champions. Radcliffe Varsity 4 boat won the Eastern Sprints last year. Going to continue their strength at this Varsity 4 level. Radcliffe big lead over Boston College. Looks like BC has the slight edge for second right now and ahead of Northeastern. Then it's BU and MIT. Day won't be done for MIT after this. MIT takes on Coast Guard when we wrap this up, so they'll do the double dip today. That was part of the reason why that first varsity race ran when it did, so that MIT would have some extra time to rest up for a varsity race against Coast Guard Academy. Now, if you were just doing the math in your head, you'd assume the Coast Guard Academy should have a good team on the water, similar to the Naval Academy, but MIT may be the favorite heading into that race this afternoon. Radcliffe still with a comfortable lead, about 500 meters in, just past the 500-meter mark. Northeastern and Boston College neck and neck here in a second place spot with Radcliffe out in front. BU has fallen well back to fourth, and MIT is trailing far behind in fifth. This has been the typical pecking order for the most part today. Radcliffe 1, Northeastern 2, Boston College 3. That was the result in each of the varsity and second and third varsity races. Again, BC did win that fourth varsity race. BU has been back in that fourth spot. And we've seen MIT finish things off in that fifth spot. Solid way to start the season for both Radcliffe and Northeastern. Really strong races, good times for these teams on their first race on the open water since the fall time. Closing in on the halfway point of this Varsity 4 race as Radcliffe continues to stretch its lead. Cox and Anna chasing just a freshman, calling out the strokes. That Varsity 4 boat has Haley Novus, Sophia Young, Hannah Osborne, and Corinne Bazzini. do like the setup of these 4-seater boats. The coxswain in a much different position than in the big 8-seaters. They're almost lying flat, facing forward, instead of sitting straight up and down on the back side of the boat. Now Radcliffe through the first 1,000 very quickly. Open water already between Boston College and Northeastern, who are in a neck-and-neck battle for second, as Radcliffe is looking to finish the day with 4 consecutive solid wins. That win at First Varsity was very close. It was just a 4-second win. They were neck and neck with Northeastern most of the way, but Radcliffe has controlled Second Varsity, Third Varsity, and now so far here in this 4th Varsity boat. Rather, Varsity 4 boat, excuse me. Yeah, this is a Varsity 4 boat that won the Eastern Sprints last year, took gold medal there. So they're hoping to continue their success at the 4-seater Varsity as well. Again, 1 senior on this boat, a freshman coxswain, 1 freshman rower, and 2 sophomores. So a team that you'd expect will get stronger and stronger as the season goes on. BC and Northeastern in a real close battle for that 2nd place spot right now. There's really little separating those two as Radcliffe continues to stretch its lead, closing in on the final 500 meters of the day for the Radcliffe Black and White as they look for their 4th win in 5 races today. Beanpot staying with 18th ranked Radcliffe. They are now 8-1 all time on the Beanpot. Rough estimate, probably about a 2-boat, at least, maybe even a 3-boat length between Radcliffe and both Boston College and Northeastern, who are still right in it neck and neck. BU back in 4th. It looks like they'll finish in 4th as MIT is a long way back in 5th. Heading past that MIT boathouse, so they'll get a little lift again from their fans hanging out over the top, drinking the hot chocolate on this chilly day. Radcliffe continuing to stretch its lead. It'll be a dominant finish for Radcliffe today after 4th Varsity went to Boston College to start the day. Radcliffe took the 3rd Varsity, they took the 1st Varsity, they took the 2nd Varsity, and this foursome of Novus, Young, Osborne, and Bazzini, coxswain by Jasing, on their way to another win here in the Varsity 4. And a 4-win day for the rowers of Radcliffe. This point just racing against the clock for Radcliffe as they have a huge lead. That real close part is between 2nd and 3rd right now. Northeastern and BC are about as close as could be for that runners-up spot. Looks like Boston College probably has a slight edge coming at that diagonal angle for you. It's tough to get an official reading on it. Radcliffe making its way down the stretches, maybe 20 more strokes, 30 more strokes, and they'll be across the line inside the last 100 meters or so. BC building its lead. Looks like they've picked up their stroke count a bit ahead of Northeastern. So Radcliffe won, waiting for that flag to drop as Radcliffe heads its way down to the finish line. Here come the Black and White to a 4th win today, and their first here at the Varsity 4. At the finish line, Radcliffe takes the Varsity 4. Boston College in a sprint down to the finish with Northeastern. Looks like the Eagles have a slight lead. We will wait for the official ruling. Here comes Boston College to the finish line. And the Eagles do slip in for 2nd, Northeastern 3rd. Boston University will come home in 4th. And MIT will finish off the day in 5th. Well, another really strong race for Harvard, wire to wire from the start. The Radcliffe Black and White win their 4th race of the day. Radcliffe takes Varsity 4, Varsity 8, 2nd Varsity 8, and 3rd Varsity 8. Radcliffe takes 2nd in the 4th Varsity 8. So that's a big day for Radcliffe. They win the Beanpot, they win the Varsity 8, and they win 4 races overall. Northeastern with 2nd place 14.3-second win for Radcliffe at the Varsity 4. That's a huge margin. Really, really good race for Radcliffe. Northeastern, good day. They came in second in 3 races and third in 1. Boston College won the 4th Varsity. They were 3rd place in 3 races and 2nd in 1. BU was 4th place in all 4 races it competed in. MIT, 5th place in all 4 races, rather all 3 races it competed in. All right, for our entire crew, this is Bill Spaulding saying so long from the Charles River, where the final results are Harvard keeping the Beanpot with the Radcliffe crew team taking home 4 wins. Black and white win the 1st Varsity 8, the 1st Varsity 4, 2nd Varsity 8, and 3rd Varsity 8. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other broadcasts and on-demand content, you can visit the ivyleaguedigitalnetwork.com on your desktop or mobile device. This has been a presentation of the Ivy League Digital Network.